Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be sharing my 10 Heroes 10 from the brand Nars. So Nars was a really highly requested option for the next brand for me to do in this series of 10 Heroes 10. Please let me know what brand you'd like to do next. I think at the moment the next highest requested brand is Chanel, so we'll do that one next. Let me know if there's another brand that I haven't done yet that you would like to see in the comment section down below. So Nars. I feel like Nars is one of these brands that are really consistent, and they've been consistent for a very long time. For many years they've been bringing out banging products, especially like complexion products, foundations, concealers for years. Every time they drop one of these products, you know it's not going to be a fail. They're very consistent in their quality and the products that they release, but I also feel like in a lot of areas they're really underrated. So today I'm going to share with you my top 10 picks from their entire range, and one product that I think you should just skip altogether, forget about it, don't pay it any attention, don't even look it directly in the eye. Let's get started. So first up, one of the aforementioned underrated products in my opinion is their primer or their primers. They have several different primers. This is the soft matte primer, and such a good primer, like a good solid mattifying primer that keeps foundation on longer and is very nice and smoothing underneath foundation. It has such a nice texture and consistency as well. Like it goes on like a really hydrating lotion, which I really appreciate for like a matte or a mattifying primer that doesn't go on and it feels like it's just sucking the life out of your skin. Like it doesn't leave you looking dull or dry or feeling dull and dry. It goes on like a lotion and it feels hydrating somehow. It does mattify the skin. Like I'm not sure if you can really see the difference. I think you probably can. It does mattify and smooth the complexion, but it doesn't feel or look like it's just sucked all of the life and the light out of your face, which I really appreciate. And I do notice it helps my foundation go on really nice and smoothly and stay on throughout the day better, and it just feels really nice on light, really nice and light on the skin. Tongue twister. It's a bit early for these, but a great solid primer. I also think Nars actually has really good value for their products. Like they're a nice moderate price point that's not insane, so it also kind of gives you those options, especially if there's like their family and friends sale that's like 20% off everything. Everything is really good value in my opinion. Next up, let's talk about their cream bronzer. Now I'm not a huge cream girl, you guys, you know this, but this cream bronzer was one of the first. This is one of the original release when this formula first came out. This is the shade Casino. So they only initially released 2 shades, and now they've massively increased that with a really nice shade range for cream bronzer. But this formula is very nice. You need a tiny amount, but it blends out really nicely. What I really liked about this shade when it first came out is it's a natural bronze. It's not super warm like a lot of cream bronzers before it, and it's also not like so cool you have to use it as a contour or really strategically in certain places. It's just a really nice middle ground, blends easily, builds beautifully, and now there's a really nice shade range that is just like the cherry on the top. Next up, let's talk about one of their definitely not underrated products, a product that they are very well known for. Everybody loves this product from Nars, and it is their blushes. Their blush formula is one of the best, one of my absolute favorites. Which shade is for you is completely personal, but they have such an incredible shade range, from fair to really deep, rich tones, every colour you can imagine, some really unique shades like Taj Mahal. Orgasm X is like the perfect summer blush. This is one of my favourite everyday blushes. This is the shade Tempted. It's the blush I have on today. It's just very easy going, very pretty and soft, but it has that stunning Nars formula that is just so beautifully luminous and very, very smooth, very buildable. It blends like a dream, but the sheen is just something else. Such a beautiful blush formula, one of the best out there in my opinion, and definitely one to like try for. If you're thinking of dipping your toe into Nars for the first time, where to start? Definitely start with the blushes. You cannot go wrong. Next up, a base product that again I feel is quite underrated from the brand, but this is Nars's Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturiser. A very nice classic traditional tinted moisturizer, not one that is like a full coverage tinted moisturizer. It's a regular like light coverage, 30 SPF in here, really nice, chic, but travel friendly packaging. This wears really nicely and it's got a beautiful, fresh, healthy, glowing finish to it that is very, very natural, very pretty, but without being like shiny or oily or greasy. A lovely, lovely tinted moisturizer, perfect for summer. One of the best that I've tried, really underrated, really great value for money, and a really good shade range as well for a tinted moisturizer. I think Nars's undertones with their foundations and their tinted moisturizer are always really realistic and really easy for me, who sometimes or most of the time struggles with undertones in foundation shade ranges. Nars has always been one that I can rely on to get a nice realistic undertone, and this is a really nice, easy, light, easygoing, nicely wearing tinted moisturizer that's not going to be too heavy, too much, too glowy, too disappearing off your skin after 5 minutes. It's just a really, really great option for summer. Next up, a product that I don't use a huge amount just because of the way that I do my makeup and the different concerns that I have, but I have tried and used this and it is amazing at what it does, and this is their color corrector. So I have the shade medium and it's the peachy corrector, so these are designed for like under eye circles. I have never really got into using color correctors. I don't know if it's just because I'm lazy and it's like an extra step, who knows, or whether it's just because I feel like for me I can get the coverage that I need and like from my concealer. I don't feel like I need that extra step and therefore it's kind of unnecessary. But I did use this, I don't know if you can see, that's kind of pretty much almost disappeared into my skin there, but I did use this a few times when I was like reviewing it and just trying it out, and I was so impressed. Like, it's perfect. If you have like under eye darkness that no concealer can combat, I 100% would give this corrector a try. It melts into the skin, it's very light, so it's not like feeling like, oh, your under eye is really heavy because you've got multiple layers, multiple products. It melts into the skin really nicely and quickly and easily, but then it like sets down, so you're not just like mixing your concealer into it on the top. It feels nice and light and comfortable, and it is a very light, thin consistency that blends really nicely. You need a tiny amount. It's got a nice, precise little brush to get right into the corners there, and I definitely noticed a big difference when I used this in combination with my concealer as far as like my dark circles showing through. So a really excellent color corrector. Next, let's talk about what is on my lips today, and again another really underrated product from the brand. This is one of their Air Matte lip colors. So this is a liquid lipstick, but bear with me, hold on, I don't want to lose anyone because I said the L word, okay? This is not one of those life-sucking drying down matte lipsticks. This is like a mousse texture and it doesn't dry down. So this is the shade I have on today, which is called Surrender, and it's just the perfect like everyday easygoing nude shade. But this is like a mousse that doesn't dry down, it doesn't set down, it is like, it's not completely transfer proof. If I do a kiss test, you can see there's like lipstick comes off, but it doesn't transfer like as much as a traditional lipstick, a bullet lipstick, or you know, a shiny or a gloss. It's a little less transferring, but it doesn't dry down and set down and suck all the life out of your lips forever until they just want to leave you and run away. Really comfortable, really smooth and flattering. Like, it really is, gives you a smoothed lip, like it lines and texture you can't see them anymore. Very flattering, very comfortable, really soft and kissable lippies. Very underrated for me. My favorite lip formula from the brand and one of the nicest liquid lip consistencies that I've tried, albeit not a traditional like dry down matte liquid lip. Love the packaging, again, very travel friendly and a huge hit. I've given a few different shades of these to like my sister and my mum, and they absolutely love them. Also, same thing about the Corrector. I gave my other shade, the lighter shade that I was sent to my sister, who loved it and finished it off and repurchased it. So yes, if you have worse under eye situation than I do, just more into colour correctors, that has been tested by someone who also loves it. But yes, I was talking about the lips. Stay on track, for goodness sake. Really, really nice, really underrated formula. And again, really nice range of shades in that one. Very flattering and just easygoing. Now, we have talked about their blush formula, but something else we must talk about. You cannot talk about Nars and their products without including their blush and highlight palettes, their cheek palettes. This has got to be, or has become, I feel like, Nars's flagship product. Like, if you think of Nars, I feel like a lot of people think of these palettes. The packaging, I mean, this isn't my favourite packaging. The one with like the ribbon for Christmas, I died. That for me was like the peak. Also, I like the smashed, you know, the bent, the hammered metal, whatever is the technical term. Okay, I'm not a builder. This is probably my favourite as far as the colour story in here. When I saw this, I have a lot of these cheek palettes, and I saw this one and was like, okay, you know, it's another one of the cheek palettes. And then I used these two shades and the highlight, which I feel like often gets forgotten, overlooked in the face of all the pretty blushes. I was so impressed. Like, they're so beautiful. Hang on. The hand is overcrowded. This is just such a banger of a palette. I was so intimidated by this red, but actually used lightly, it's so pretty, and it just really gives a beautiful soft pop of colour on the cheeks for summer. Again, this shade, which is the middle shade, is really deceptive. Like, I feel like you look at it in the pan and you're just like, okay, fine. On the cheeks, stunning. The highlighter is so pretty and smooth and melts into the skin really nicely and easily, and highlight just wasn't really something that I thought of loving from Nars as a brand previously. I always felt like their highlights were too beaming, too metallic for me. Actually, this one blended really nicely, melts beautifully into the skin. And yeah, this is actually Savage in here. The shade Savage is one of their permanent blushes and one of my favourites when I'm more tanned, for just a really beautiful bronze look. That's stunning. They've got some, these are like mattes, these two blush shades, and then these two are shimmers. There's like a range of formulas in there, so you get something for everybody. This would be the perfect palette for a makeup artist, because you can see this is really soft for someone with fairer skin, and real pop of colour for someone with deeper skin. Lots of options in the middle, so it's a really nice versatile cheek palette. But all of these cheek palettes, you cannot go wrong. They will never fail you. If you were like on the fence, do I need one of those? Will it actually be worth it? If you see one that's got your colours in it and it's like for you and it's screaming out your name, I promise you will never be disappointed by them. The formula is always going to be top notch. They're always going to perform how you want, and they're just so fun. I get a lot of joy out of those products, especially the ones with the stunning packaging. And I think as a brand, like, that is a product that everybody would say about Nars. That's one of their top products, their best products, their blush palettes. Fire. Now, as I said earlier, Nars, I feel, have been consistently at the top of their game when it comes to foundation for years. Like, originally it was Sheer Glow. Sheer Glow was everything, like, back in the day, wasn't it? Every single tutorial was like Nars Sheer Glow was it. Like, it was the viral foundation, like 10, 15, however many years ago it came along. Then there was the Natural Radiant that had like its moment of being like it for your full glam girls. The soft matte foundation, super popular with more oilier skin types, people who love a matte foundation, obviously not me. And then came along their foundation to end all of their previous foundations, and it's the Light Reflecting foundation. This is the foundation I have on today, and I am obsessed. This has worked its way for me probably into the top 3 all time of my foundations. I absolutely love everything about it. It's the perfect natural medium coverage. It's very skin-like. It's got a beautiful luminous finish that isn't shiny or oily or greasy. It's just a luminous, beautiful kiss to the skin that brings life to the face. The shade range, as always, is perfect. I've got a perfect winter shade, a perfect summer shade. I don't need a lot of this, literally a couple of pumps, small tiny little pumps, does my whole face easily, quickly. There are no products it doesn't work on top of or underneath. It has no SPF, so I can wear it in the evening to events. It wears beautifully. It is completely foolproof. There's nothing I don't like about it. It photographs gorgeously. An absolute banger, belter of a foundation. Not just a win for the brand, but a win for my face, okay? And everybody's faces, presumably. If you want to know which Nars foundation to try first, it's obviously this one. Obviously, no contest in my opinion. Next up, another super popular, super hyped, with good reason, product from the brand is Nars's Radiant Creamy Concealer. Again, back in the day, 10 years ago, this was it. This is all anybody talked about. Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard, of course, was it. Desi Perkins put us onto this one. This is such a nice, more natural concealer. For me, I typically need like a full coverage concealer. This is more of a medium natural concealer. It has a beautiful like light reflecting quality to it, so it really gives you like a lit from within under eye that kind of reflects any attention to your darkness. It doesn't cover everything as much as like my Pat McGrath concealer or like the Huda Concealer, super full coverage concealers. So this is more for like a natural, if I was wearing the Tinted Moisturiser kind of concealer, this is what I'm going to reach for to give me that balance. I don't want to wear a Tinted Moisturiser with a really full coverage concealer under the eyes because it's going to look a little off. Like what's happening up here, what's happening on the rest of your face. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm going for a more natural, lighter look with less coverage, this is one of my favorite concealers to use because it's light, it's comfortable, it's luminous, and it's got a nice amount of coverage, and because of the light reflecting quality as well, it kind of covers more than it covers, if you see what I mean. It hides more than it covers is what I'm trying to say. Beautiful light, perfect if you have less under eye darkness to cover and you want a more natural concealer, or if you're just younger, then this will be right up your street. An absolutely banging concealer that is, you know, been around for years but still up there with the best. And for the final hero of this brand, a product that completely changed the way I feel and look about at this brand in this category, and it's the Climax I don't want to fall out with you. I was just talking nicely about you, okay? It's the Climax eyeshadow palette. I never thought of Nars for eyeshadow. Never really used their eyeshadows before. Certainly wasn't something I got excited about when the brand released a new eyeshadow palette. You were getting on my last nerve. Until this bad boy. Not only did Nars finally give us the colour story we've been crying for years, that no one wanted to give us this grungy greens and like rich autumnal tones all in one, in absolute banging packaging, but in a nice smaller size without a crazy hefty price tag. But the formulas in here, let me tell you about it. This is also such a versatile little palette. It gives you daytime soft glam. It gives you grunge. It gives you full glam. It gives you smoky, sultry even. It gives you innocent, pretty, soft. It can do anything you choose, but these shimmers, who knew? There's nothing on that finger, so that's embarrassing. Let's pretend that didn't happen. But who knew Nars was coming out with shimmers like this? They look wet. They're so smooth. The mattes are buttery and blendable with no fallout. The shimmers are so shiny, high shine. Everything in here, although it's a little bit of a unique, slightly different colour story, or it certainly was at the time. I feel like now we've got a lot more of this type of colour story, but everything goes together. Like when I first got this, you know, you guys know I'm not an artistic person. I'm not a very creative person when it comes to like colour story, colour theory, putting colours combinations together. Can't do it. And so this looks a little intimidating. Well, you know, pinks and sort of mauvey tones with green, and what is happening with this blue. it all just somehow comes together. Whatever you do, it goes together. Beautiful looks just happen. And I've never had a dud look with this. The mattes are amazing, the shimmers are amazing. It made me like reconsider how I look at Nars as eyeshadow, and made me more excited to try more eyeshadows from them. We need more of these Nars. This size, format, formulas, consistency, colours, stories, give us more in this packaging. I love it, love everything about it. It's a banger. And now for the zero, and I know that this is going to be really controversial because I think I'm one of like a few people on the planet who doesn't love this product, and it's probably like Nars's flagship product or item, and everyone loves it. It's what Nars is known for, but I don't like it, and I can only apologise. But it's the original Nars Orgasm Blush. I don't like it. It's not for me. It feels so dry. That's number one. It feels dry. I don't feel like the formula of this one is as nice as their newer blushes, and it just doesn't work on my skin tone. You can probably see there it's too light for me, but also on me, I don't know if this is just me or everybody, but lots of people love this, but on me, this is really chunky and glittery and like has no colour. It basically is like gold sparkle on the cheeks. That's all it gives me, and I don't understand it. There are so many nicer shades of blush. Like Nars has built their entire brand around this blush, and I don't understand it. Like Tempted, Savage, Nars is Madly, Orgasm X, 100 times nicer than original Orgasm, but for some reason this is like it for a lot of people. I guess it's probably a skin tone thing. It must be far more beautiful on fairer skin tones than mine, but on me this is literally the last product I would recommend to anybody from their entire brand, and it's like their most popular item. So it just goes to show how subjective makeup is, and not everything is for everybody, and for me Orgasm is not it. So there you have it. Those are my 10 heroes and one big zero from Nars. Please let me know in the comment section what other brands you want to see, and also let us know what your hero products are from the brand. Are any of yours the same as mine? Do you have any new ones, recommendations for us? Please hit us up in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.